Alright, Jason, Hollis Farms today. I had to take a road trip today. I got my camera trying to get it set up here on the dash. I got a little break in between the things I'm doing today. Hope it's focused right. But anyway, I've had a few questions in the past, hog hunting videos, about bulldogs and about Cricket, which is my walker dog. Hope that thing's pointed right, but anyway, as most of y'all know, and some of the new people y'all don't know, I've been breeding these Blackmouth curs for years now. I don't know, shoot, 10 years or so probably now. But anyway, I used to run bulldogs. I had a real good bulldog several years back that got killed on me. He was probably about 5 years old. His name was Bullet. Just a super dog. If every one of them was like that, I would keep having them. But as I got to breeding these Blackmouths, I got to where I could breed a cross that was really rough and crosses that were not rough. Well, our hogs run so bad, we don't have many bays. So, and I've had people ask me why I don't hunt on the horses and mules, because I haul so many dogs. Usually when I go to the woods, I've got at least 10 dogs, and I don't like to put them all down at the same time. I like to get the hog jumped and see how it's going to act, see how far it's going to run, and then I feed fresh dogs to them. And I like the rough dogs. Little T's about the only dog that's not really rough that I got. Cricket is. I'll talk about her in a minute. As far as my Blackmouth, Little T, and that's fine. She does her job. She can jump hogs. She can run the wind out of them and stop them and hold them. But as a rule, I like my rough dogs, but you do take a chance on getting the rough dogs hurt. That's just part of the game. I hate it. Y'all know I take care of my dogs. That's why I like to run a lot of them. The more you've got, the less chances of getting hurt. I've had some comments. I'm going to think of stuff as I'm going, but I've had some comments on the why I don't run the vest, the protective gear. I don't like it because it's just like when a football player puts on pads. He's just not as agile as he is without it. And I've had dogs get hurt with it because they had it on. I've had dogs in creeks and rivers get hung up on snags and drown because of it. And I just decided, I run more dogs, they go naked, and we've had a lot less dogs get hurt like that than we did. So my main deal is the Blackmouths. I love to breed them. I kind of know how they cross, and I know what to expect when they come out of them. I've got some buddies that run a lot of hounds, and y'all seen Cricket. That's my walk. She's kind of small, but she is a tree and walker. The biggest reason I got her, it wasn't nose or anything like that, because my cur dogs, Rebel, my old male dogs, he's got as good a nose or better than most hounds, and we've proven that hunting with good hounds. I mean, it's not, I never take anything away from a hound, but I just got lucky. Excuse me. I got lucky with Rebel. He's just exceptional nose, exceptional drive, and exceptional heart. And he does really good. Rebel, in his younger days, he barked quite a bit. And a lot of people don't want to hunt with me if I've got barking dogs or if I've got hounds. It don't matter to me what they do as long as they catch them. But with the barking dog, we found, and this is why I've got Cricket, because she barks more than your normal cur dog. If she gets in there with Little T, and Little T, she'll bark when she's right up under that hog. As the hog puts some distance on her, she gets quiet. Well, younger dogs can't pack together. If y'all notice, the more we do these hunting videos, I talk about packing my dogs. Well, Cricket, that's why I'm so excited about her, and I hadn't talked a lot about her. She's 18 months old, somewhere around in there. I got her from a buddy of mine that had her bark at a coon in a trap, but not treed yet, so I got her from her. Converted her to the hogs. The reason I got her is because I want a dog barking so I can pack my dogs to them. If for instance, if Little T gets on a hog, jumps the hog, and it kind of gets away from them and she gets quiet, these younger dogs, or even some of the older dogs that can't run a track like her, they get behind, and the hog runs further and further. Well, Cricket's learning right now. I'll explain more to this as we go hunting. She's starting to get on Little T's heels, and she's learning quick. And when she gets to barking and keeping up with Little T, which can pick her head up off the ground and run a track like lightning, Cricket barking pulls the other dogs in there, and if you got a pack of 6 or 7 just running like crazy, averaging 7-8 miles an hour, they finna run the wind out of that hog. And if the hog squats, or what we call makes a loose, where a dog loses, the more you've got there barking, the quicker they pick it up. Our hogs run so bad, you've got to pack together. And if I've got 8 or 10 on the Ranger, if they're all down at once, they get tired. Sometimes I dump the box on them, but a lot of times I like to hold a few back. So as if they put 5 or 6 miles, 7 miles on that hog, and I get back close to them on the Ranger, and they get to barking again, I send them some help, send them fresh help. So the reason I don't fool with the Bulldog anymore is I can only haul so many on the Ranger. Y'all seen me shoot a couple of hogs. I could have caught both of them hogs the other day, but I just went ahead and ended it with the shotgun. I kind of like doing that sometimes too, but if 7 or 8 of my cur dogs can't catch it, one Bulldog is very likely to get my cur dogs killed. The Bulldog is going to do his job. He's going to run in there and he is going to catch. Well, if it's a hog that he don't need to be catching, my cur dogs are going to bail in and they're going to get hurt. The cur dogs are smarter and they work together, like y'all saw them in the hog in the water. If that hog would have been out of the water, they could have caught it easy, but they're smart enough to just hold the hog. You know, several comments how the dog's been on the bank holding the hog, waiting for the right time. The cur dogs are smarter, and if they can't catch it, I just go shoot the hog. I would rather have a running cur dog or a running hound on my Ranger versus hauling a Bulldog all around all the time, where 99.9% of the time my cur dogs can handle it, so I don't need a Bulldog. Nothing against a Bulldog. A lot of people like to hunt like that. Where I hunt, y'all see how thick it is and all, and I'm by myself. I would just soon tote that 20 gauge with slugs. If they can't handle it, we shoot it and go on to the next one. And that's just the way I've turned to liking to hunt. I've seen people, they haul Bulldogs all day long and don't use them. I don't want to do that. I've just seen too much, and there's lots of ways to skin a cat, and this is just the way I like to do it. You know, I don't have anything against a Bulldog. If somebody goes hunting with me and got a Bulldog, we'll use it. But I just have to pay attention. I know how my dogs work. I know how each one of them work, and it just works better for me like this. Trying to think of any other comments that's been questioned about. Cricket, you know, the biggest reason, I'm hoping in time, another reason for Cricket, some of my buddies, they got what they call trail dogs. They can see a track that crosses the road, and a lot of times some of these cur dogs may not have the enough want to get on that track and go trail the hog up and jump it, because you're liable to trail that hog 5 to 10 miles before you jump it. I'm hoping in time Cricket will have that heart and that hound sense to her, that if it's a hard day and can't find a lot of hogs, or on up in the morning, up in the day, that she'll put that nose down and trail it, and when she gets it jumped, then we'll feed the other dogs. Rebel, my old dog, will do it. He will do it as good as a hound. It is the things I ask out of a cur dog are just about unheard of, but that's what I like. I've seen it. I've made them. We've trained them. And I know we can do it again. It's just not all of them are going to do that. Most of them are going to have a job. Most of them can do short hunts. Some of them won't run as far as others, but you just have to learn your dogs and know when to feed them in. So I was just sitting here in between some stuff I'm doing today, and had some comments on the other hog videos and all, and just wanted to answer some of them best I can. And got a lot of new subscribers that may have not heard some of the questions I've answered in the last videos back. So y'all feel free to comment on those questions. Like I said, all y'all out there that use bulldogs, I don't have a problem with it. I just prefer not to, because I'm fixing to start breeding these hounds a little more, because I'm not going to say I got the cur dogs completely figured out, but I've got them figured out close enough to where I think I can move on to the next deal. I want to start breeding hounds, and we're on a good start, because Cricket's pretty greedy, especially for a female. I think in time I would like to have 2 or 3 walker hounds. I've played with the running walkers, not really suit my style. They're okay. I've got one that's named Queenie. I'll try to bring her out one day and run her. She's not just what I want, but she's okay. She gives a lot of mouth, which is good to pack to, and she's fast. But I think to suit the way I like to do it, and with all the rough cur dogs that I've got, I don't need to add much. So I'm thinking down the road 2 to 3 of these treeing walkers that we're converting to hog dogs is going to suit my style a lot better. And if I ever I'm hoping in February I get to go with my buddies down south. They run a lot of hounds, and when I go with them, I don't put my dogs down, because their hounds are good and trailing. I hold my dogs back to send to their dogs when they get to hog up and get to running. And if we ever get to do that this year, y'all are really going to like it. We're liable to unload and have about 40 dogs and hunt all day on a Friday or Saturday, and it's just wild. It's dogs everywhere, a lot of barking. And like I said, most hog hunters don't want to listen to the barking. But with these thickets and all we run in, and the hogs run so bad, we've been hunting them so many years, they just don't bay. Normally right off the bat, they don't bay. You've got to run them 8, 10, 15, 20 miles to get them to bay and stop. And normally you got to pull hair to catch them. So trying to think if there's any more questions. I'll answer one question I just thought about. I've had a few comments about my shotgun, what I towed. I towed the little youth model 20 gauge. I used to tote a 410 with slugs and a little Mossberg, and I started toting these little Remington 870 20 gauges, a youth model, and I use a slug. And one reason I use it, on that big hog the other day, the big old boar hog, not the one in the creek, the big boar hog, I didn't get it videoed good. There was actually a dog just nearly right that side. And years ago, I shot a 30-30. And I had an older gentleman tell me one time that I need to start shooting a slug. And the reason that he wanted me to shoot a slug was because if you get in a situation where you have to, it's not nearly taking a chance. You got to know your equipment and the size of the hog, but that slug's not going to penetrate like a rifle bullet. It's going, them big old hogs, it's going to just about stop. And the other day, if somebody would have been looking over my shoulder, they would have said I took a chance. Kind of did, I guess, but I knew from instinct what the outcome was going to be. I shot that big hog right behind the ear, and there was a dog on his shoulder on the other side. It took me a second to do it, but when the shot was there, I had to do it. I needed to end it. That hog had big teeth, and it was just, they'd done been in the water on that other, and it was trying to finish it. So that's one reason I like to shoot a slug, excuse me, because the penetration's not as bad and not as likely to go through when you get in a situation. So I hope I've answered as many questions about my dogs and my gun and stuff as I can think of right now. I know there'll be more as we get to hog hunting. I hadn't got to hog hunt as much as I like to. It's driving me nuts. I was going to go the other day and I pulled my back and I couldn't hardly get out of bed. It happens from 2 or 3 times a year with my back. I need surgery, but I just hadn't gone and done it. So, but anyway, we're going to get to doing as much as that as we can. Y'all feel free to comment on how I train them. I'm going to try to get into a little bit more of that later. How I train them, how I start them, how I finish them. Not saying, again, my way's the only way. It's just when you get something working for you, you try to stick to it. And I've got some buddies that I got some buddies that we hunt together sometimes, and they do things completely different, and they've got good dogs. Some things I do that they don't do, my dogs tend to turn out a little different the way I like them. There's lots of ways to skin a cat, you know, turkey hunting, deer hunting, hog hunting, dogs, coon hunting, squirrel, whatever. As long as you're having a good time, spending time in the outdoors, there's no wrong way, you know. Carry kids, you know, Cody gets to go with me when he can. This year it's been kind of crazy on the weather, but we're gonna have Cody out some. He loves the hog hunt. Not crazy about deer hunting. You gotta sit still. He's 8 years old. He loves the dog, loves the action. So that's what we do a lot of. So if there's any more questions on the next hog hunting video or after I put this video out, feel free to comment and ask. I'll answer them the best I can. If y'all like our stuff, subscribe to us. Hollis Farms, hats, t-shirts, and stickers, hollisfarms.com. Appreciate y'all watching. Out of here.